this is Yolanda from Don't Get It Twisted Crochet, and this is my response to the crochet tag. So OVM, she did a crochet tag to all of the Fresh Off the Hook family, and so this is my response to her crochet tag. And guess what? If you are now watching this video, tag, you're it. Yep, if you love crochet, I would definitely love to see your response to these questions. So let's get started. Question number 1, how long have you been crocheting? Well, I learned how to crochet when I was 7. I probably did it then for a little while and then stopped doing it when I got to like high school, college, because everybody said that was a grandma's craft and I didn't want to be thought of as a grandma, so I put my hooks down. I actually picked it back up around 2008. I was with a friend and her mom, she crochets with the loom. And I was like so intrigued, and I knew that I knew something about it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I used to do this all the time. And so I went out and I brought the loom set that she had and had no idea what I was doing with it. So I took that back to the store and I bought crochet hooks and yarn. And been crocheting ever since, been a hooker ever since then. So it's been non-stop since probably about 2008, around end of 2008, beginning of 2009. Who taught me how to crochet? My great aunt taught me when I was 7. So that's when I first learned. So she really gave me the fundamentals of crochet, and then of course YouTube helped. Have a lot of books on different stitches and that type of thing. So I don't want to say I'm self-taught, because really my great aunt did teach me, but a lot of what I do now is probably things that I learned on my own. My favorite hook size, let's see, oh, I'm looking at my little clipboard with the questions on it if you're wondering why I keep turning this way. So my favorite hook size is definitely a 5.5. I have no clue what letter that is or anything, a 5.5. But I don't care what the pattern calls for, I can make it work with a 5.5 hook for some reason. So that is my absolute favorite. What's your favorite brand of hooks? I don't know. It's the one with the little wood handles, and you would think I would have one right somewhere for me to show you. But they have the little wooden handles on them. I think that's maybe Clover or Susan Bell. Somebody. I don't know. Whichever ones have the wood hook on the end or the wood handle, those are the ones that I like. My favorite brand of yarn. A lot of people, I guess, would say I'm a yarn snob. I like really expensive yarn. So my favorite yarn brand is actually a local yarn company called Neighborhood Fiber Company. And that's just one skein of yarn that she does, or he does. I don't know if it's he or she, but they're local here in, I think they're based out of Alexandria, Virginia. And so I get this from a local yarn store. The yarn is absolutely gorgeous. You can see, let's see if I can get it, but you can see this is it. That skein all wound up. So that's what it looks like in a ball. But that is my favorite brand of yarn to use. If it was not so expensive, I would probably use it with everything. But because it is, I have to use other brands. And so my other non-local yarn shop brand would definitely be Lion Brand Hometown USA. I use that to make all of my infinity scarves, and absolutely love the way that feels. And then Red Heart Soft. So I mean, I could use any brand, but if you're talking about my favorite, it would definitely be the Fiber Company. Favorite pattern? I don't have one. What are you inspired by? I am actually inspired by knits. I probably have a subscription to every knit magazine, and I love the way knit looks, but I love the challenge of making that look with crochet. So when I see a knit garment or a knit hat, and people, oh, that's so pretty, I'm like, how can I make that with crochet? And so a lot of knit inspires me, and then I'm inspired by color. I love bright beautiful colors, just vibrant colors. I don't have a lot of black yarn simply because I like color. So I'm inspired by color and inspired by knitwear. What do you use for stitch markers? Whatever I can find. I've used safety pins, paper clips, other yarn. I have actual stitch markers, but whatever is close by me at the time when I'm making that garment, then that is what I use. What is the highest amount I've paid for yarn? That would also be from the Neighborhood Fiber Company, and that's for this one. And I don't know if you can see it, but it's like a beautiful blend of purple and gray. It's absolutely gorgeous, and I paid $38 for it. So let me know if you can see. So $38 for that skein. It's 400 yards. $38, 100% merino, superwash merino. But that's the highest amount I paid. I don't think I would pay more than that. That's a lie. Yes, I would. If I really love it, I would pay whatever it costs. So, but that's the highest so far, $38. How many times have I redone a project? I have redone a project. I've redone a hat probably 5 times. I was trying to make a slouchy beanie, and it just didn't have the right amount of slouch, so I would take it out, and then like when I was decreasing the rows, it wouldn't fit on my head, so I had to take it out again. Yeah, so probably about 5 times on a slouchy beanie. I know it's the really simple things that get you every time. Do you know how to read patterns? Yes, and I actually prefer reading patterns over charts. And if I see a chart that I really, really like, or a graph that I really, really like of a pattern, I will actually write that pattern out rather than just use the chart, because I like the written pattern way more than I like looking at the charts. I always feel like I'm going to miss a stitch by doing it by the chart. So if I write it out from the pattern, then I don't feel like I'm going to miss anything. How do you feel when you are in a yarn store? I have not had a feeling yet to match how I feel when I'm in a yarn store. It is, I don't know. I'm consumed. I don't even know how to describe it. But again, I have not had a feeling yet that matches that feeling. Do you have a lot of yarn but always feel like you don't have enough? Yes. And I keep telling myself that I can't buy more yarn until I use up the yarn that I have. But then I find reasons to buy more yarn. Like, oh, I don't have that color, or the yarn I have is too thick, or it's not the right size, or it's not going to look right like this, or it needs, any reason that I can come up with to buy yarn, I come up with a reason to buy yarn. So I will never feel like I have enough. I could probably own a yarn store and still feel like I don't have enough. Have you ever freestyle crochet? Yes. I actually don't like it. I like to know what an item, I like structure, and I think that came from my great aunt. She really kind of made everything was very structured, and it had a purpose, and there was a reason why she was making this particular thing. And even, I don't think she was able to enjoy the craft of crochet the way I do now, or the art of it the way I do now, because it was almost a necessity for her. She was making blankets for her family because they didn't want to have to go out and buy them. Yarn was much cheaper then, so she could do that. But so I don't think she appreciated the art and the craft of crochet as much as I do now. But what she did instill in me is that this is a fundamental, it's something, there's a structure to it. And I appreciate the structure so much that even when I freestyle, it ends up being very structured. So it's not the type of freestyle that you'll be like, oh, it's all these beautiful stitches put together. My freestyle is more, you can still tell exactly what it is. Express how you feel when you're counting and someone interrupts you. That's too funny because I just had that happen to me, and my response is always like, oh my gosh, do you not see me counting? Like, really, do you not see what I'm doing here? So, and I have a friend who will see me counting and will say to me, 2, 5, 9, 8, 7. Oh, he's the worst. But anyway, yeah, it's a really bad idea to interrupt me when I'm counting. Do you dream about crochet? Yes, I really do. Do you drive in crochet? Nope, never done it, and I don't think I ever will. Do you crochet at work? No, my job. I don't want to say I'm in the field a lot because I'm dealing with families and people who are terminally ill. So no, I don't crochet at work. Do you dislike simple patterns that are hard because of the way they are written? Yes, I really dislike those types of patterns. I actually was working with one, and she said in the pattern to turn your piece 45 to a 45-degree angle and then crochet. And I was just like, what? Like, I'm holding the piece and I'm like turning it, and I'm like, okay, is that 45 degrees? I'm like, what is she talking about? Then after I did it, I realized she just meant single crochet around the whole piece. I was like, wow, okay, all of that so that I could single crochet around the whole piece. Great. How many UFOs do you have with your unfinished object? 2 minutes to count. And I actually call my UFOs whips, works in progress. They're never unfinished, they're just in progress. And so I actually prefer to call them works in progress. And I have way too many to count. And last but not least, do you travel with hook and yarn? Absolutely. I think it is a requirement to be a hooker to travel with your hook and yarn. Like, are you really a hooker if you're not traveling with it? So yes, I have a yarn bag and it goes everywhere that I go. There's probably one in my car. I visit a friend here a lot, and I keep yarn at their house just in case I might some kind of way forget. But I really rarely ever forget to bring hook and yarn. So like I said, crochet tag your it. The questions will be below this video.